Hi, this is the Fiery Joker. Okay, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm gonna start with game reviews. Sonic Generations. Long story short, it's worth your money. Go get it right now. Alright, in the long story, it's really, really good. It is not a bad Sonic game. Thank goodness. The story of the game is basically, Eggman did some weird stuff to the timeline, and Sonic from the past and Sonic from the future are now working together to defeat this weird clock monster that the Eggmans are controlling. It's not important. I mean, the important part of Sonic is not the story. It's the important part is whether or not he can platform, if he can platform fast, and if he can platform well. And he does all of those beautifully. The story is not important. It is taking a backseat to the gameplay, and that is what it should do. I think I got some motivated Marines back there. Alright, where was I? Oh yes, game reviews, Sonic Generations. I think the side missions are a little unnecessary, desperately trying to squeeze what life they can out of this game. And Sonic Generations on a whole is pretty short. I mean, and I know that's a flaw with the concept of Sonic in general. I mean, Sonic games are a lot harder to make than Mario games, because while Mario is focused on precision platforming, Sonic is based off whizzing through environments as fast as they can, and they gotta make these environments detailed, so kind of a lose-lose for Sonic there. The music is very good. It's got a lot of remixes. I like the boss battles in Sonic Generations as well. But yeah, my biggest gripe with Sonic Generations is that it's too short. It's just too short. But if they make Sonic games like this from now on, I will be fine. It's just nice to see him finally in a game that doesn't suck. Alright, and another game that I've been playing recently. It's you probably have heard of this, probably not. It's a game. It's an indie game called Katawa Shoujo, and I'm not sure that's even how it's pronounced. It translates from Japanese into Disability Girl. And what it is, it's basically like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Do you remember those? If you've read choose-your-own-adventure novels? Well, it's basically like one of those. But the premise is this. You are role-playing a high school kid who's just been diagnosed with amethysia, which is a heart condition that causes his heart to do weird stuff, like it'll flutter occasionally, and worst case scenario, he has heart attacks. He's basically got a very weak heart. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but that's what I gathered from the game. And he's been transferred to a school where everyone has disabilities, and they got staff 24 hours a day to make sure nothing bad happens. So it makes sense for the most part. And the game is about you as the role-playing as the guy trying to cope with his new life. And it's very, very good. The writing is very good. But before I go into the compliments, I'm actually going to start with the problems first. I intended to start with the problems first when I reviewed this. Alright. My first problem is the prologue. Don't get me wrong, it's a good setup. It's actually a very, very good setup. But the thing is, I hate the main character in the prologue. I have the same problem with him that I have with Bella from Twilight. In the book version. Even though Bella speaks very little, she thinks a lot, and she will not shut up! And that's the same thing that the main character does in Katawa Shoujo. He will not shut his brain up! And it gets really, really irritating. At least from my perspective. It's like, if you like that, that's fine. I don't. Alright, and the second thing that personally bugs me, there are raunchy scenes. And when I say raunchy, I mean really, really raunchy. It shows quite a bit. I honestly was not prepared for that. This is a game for adults only. I'm serious. I'm not recommending this to teenagers at all. This is a game for adults only. And these raunchy scenes, while they're handled maturely, I feel they could have done without them. Honestly. But that's just a personal gripe. I just don't like seeing that in video games. It's a personal thing. But the good side of Katawa Shoujo. The writing. Absolutely spectacular. The characters are believable. And despite the concept, it's actually treated with a lot of dignity. It's treated with a lot of respect. And you'd have to play the game to understand what I'm talking about. But these characters are really, really realistic. You can believe that they actually exist. And my favorite character probably has to be your dorm mate. First of all, he looks like Harry Potter. I'm dead serious. He's got the big glasses. He's got the short black messy hair, and he's got a red and yellow striped scarf. You gotta be kidding me. That is just too obvious. That is just funny. And what I love about his personality is that he's under the delusion. This is hilarious. He's under the delusion that all women are secretly feminist Nazis trying to overthrow all of the male people and take over the world. His theories and mannerisms regarding the subject are hilarious. And it's one of the conversations that you have with him is really, really funny. It's like I'm role playing as the character, and I'm trying to reason with him. I'm saying, look, if all women are secretly feminist Nazis plotting a takeover, and they got a stronghold somewhere, where would it be? I mean, there's no place on Earth that would be big enough or big enough that's habitable for them to put their base at. No place on Earth. And then to which he replies, who said it was on Earth? Okay, walking this way very fast. Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. He is funny, and Katawa Shoujo is really funny. I'd highly recommend it, but only to adults. Or people who... No, adults only. Alright, third game. Batman Arkham City. 2 words. Significant improvement. The gadgets are better. And I really liked the free roaming aspect. Some people took issue with it, but I personally didn't. I thought it was funny how they combine. It's like the hook shotting around. It's a bit like Just Cause 2, to be honest, and I love Just Cause 2. So yeah, it's pretty fun. It's like they put in a lot more villains because of the sandboxy style. They had a lot of different side missions for other villains to, you get it. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed in the lack of Scarecrow because he was really the defining moment of Batman Arkham Asylum. But hey, I could always just go back and play Batman Arkham Asylum. And one thing I do like about Batman Arkham City is that they made the combat a bit more realistic. It's kind of funny because they didn't make it realistic to the point where it actually hindered your gaming experience. It forced you to be a bit more strategic. It didn't punish you. It didn't punish you by being more realistic. It just required you to think a bit on your toes a bit more. Because in Batman Arkham Asylum, if you did a takedown, which is you press right trigger and Y, and you would jump on somebody who was on the ground, and they would be instantly KO'd. And in Batman Arkham Asylum, the other guys around would just wait until you were done. However, in Batman Arkham City, they've wisened up a bit. Yes, Batman Arkham City is really what a good sequel. It's like the enemies wisened up to Batman. For the most part. So yeah, Batman Arkham City, really good. Alright, I guess that's done with reviews. I still got two games that I want to play that I just downloaded off of Steam. I got Deus Ex Human Revolution, and I got Psychonauts, which I also want to try. Also, I have not finished Skyward Sword, and I have not finished Kirby's Return to Dreamland. And what else was I going to talk about? Oh yes. Top 10 co-op games. Alright, two things have happened with that. The first one. I recently purchased a newer version of the program that I use to edit my videos, and it is wigging out. I'm currently in contact with a representative from Magix, the company that makes my video editing program, and we're working to sort this out, and so it should be up. And even if we did fix it, there's still the second thing. Some of you people who auditioned and I accepted you have not sent me your lines. I kind of need those. Thank you. Alright. Next thing I want to talk about. A couple people have been perceptive and asked, why have I removed some of my videos? Well, simple thing. My account was not in good standing according to YouTube standards. There was too many claims filed against me so that I could not upload any videos longer than 15 minutes. So most of the videos, a lot of the videos you guys really didn't care about, so I removed them. A couple of them you guys did care about, but it's YouTube, and I have no power. So, not much I can do there. Pretty irritating, to be honest. Alright, and the real topic of this video, that I wanted to be the topic of this video, is piracy. I had to remove the piracy one because of a claim. Yeah. Alright, what I wanted to talk about was, I get into arguments with people over piracy a lot. And there are 5 arguments that I am sick of people using. Alright, and it just boggles my mind that people constantly use these arguments, and they just don't see how stupid they sound. Alright. Number 5. Trying to remember what it was. Alright, now I remembered. Number 5 of arguments for piracy that I am sick of hearing. It doesn't matter as long as I buy it later. Wrong. Let me give you a scenario. 2 people get a brand new game on the same day. One pirates it, but he has the full intention of buying it. the other person buys it from Steam for $60. They both play it for the same amount of time. Then, eventually, the price drops. And then, the guy who pirated the game decides he finally wants to buy it. But because of the price drops, he only pays $50 instead of $60. So, they both played the game for the same amount of time. They started at the same time. They probably will end at the same time. But the pirate paid $50, and the guy who bought it honestly paid $60. That's not fair. And I realize that this argument only applies if the price drops. I mean, if you purchase it for $60 before the price drops, then it might be okay. Also wrong. The thing is that it's not good. It doesn't look good for sales statistics if everyone pirated, then it wouldn't look good for sales statistics. Blah. It wouldn't look good for sales statistics. Yes, there we go. And which brings me to number 4. Everyone pirates, so it's okay. I cannot stand when people use that argument. The thing is, everyone doesn't pirate, and if everyone pirated, these companies will go out of business. You can't advocate piracy for that. And number 3. $60 is too much to ask for a video game. This one just blows my mind. $60 is too much to ask for a video game? Well, here's the thing. There are 3 simple solutions to this problem. 1. Wait for the price to drop. 2. Buy it used. 3. Borrow it from a friend. And I know there's going to be one guy in the comments that says, well, what if you don't have any friends who have the game? That's not the developer's fault. And the opposite of this point, number 2, it's only $60, so it doesn't matter. What? Really, people? It's only $60, so it doesn't matter? Alright. Imagine if you pirated 5 games, all worth $50. That equates to an amount of $250. Which is the equivalent of a PS3. Would you go into a Best Buy and steal a PS3 if you could get away with it? No, you wouldn't, would you? But you'd be more than willing to steal 5 $50 games, wouldn't you? No, you can't do that. And the number one argument, I am absolutely positively sick of people using to defend piracy, is that the developers don't give 2 craps if you pirate their games. I just have one word to say to that.